Okay, welcome everyone to the session. Thank you for joining us this Saturday afternoon. I don't know if I need an intro, but I'll introduce myself nevertheless. My name is Phoebe Msonda. I'm the WMI Regional Coordinator for Central and Southern Africa. I'll be co-facilitating this conversation. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about our topic today. If you are like me who strives to be better at networking, especially in the professional setting, you'll enjoy this session. So today our speaker is Ms. Tiwonge. I will introduce her full bio just now, but I would like this session to be as interactive as possible. Please do feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Yes, please. So I'll just go right ahead because we are 10 minutes behind. So I'll introduce our speaker for today, who is Ms. Tiwonge Mbale Ziambo. She's a Zambian. So she's an adult educator by profession and has a track record that spans over a decade in customer service management, human capital and development, academia and social research. So she works both in corporate level and academia. So in corporate, so she has three significant things that she does, and she has acquired great experience and best practices in customer service delivery. Most of us are in sectors that deal with customers, whether you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, whichever profession you are, you deal with, at some level, you deal with clients. So her career in the corporate level, she cuts across call center and face-to-face customer service management. She has designed and implemented orientation programs, customized training for customer service staff in customer experience, supervisory skills, leadership and managerial skills. Most recently, she has developed training modules in customer service for engineers, medical staff, accountants, shopkeepers, economists, to mention a few. Secondly, as a performance management consultant, her work experience and exemplary track record in the strategic planning and implementation of performance measurement and management systems has aided her acquire the necessary skills in performance management training. Lastly, as a communications expert, she has facilitated training for directors, senior managers, and line managers in various government ministries, non-governmental organizations, and in the private sector. So Ms. Tionge has had opportunities to address summits and conferences, has been among keynote speakers at several Chartered Institute Customer Management, that is in Zambia, Cavendish University, and Zambia Institute of Human Resource Convention. So that's the corporate. And then in the academia, she has served as a tutor, part-time lecturer, external examiner, and academic consultant. In addition, she offers academic mentorships for MBS students for both local and international students. She is passionate about learner support and how to develop students. So not just in the academia, but as a social entrepreneur, she's certified as an international career coach and co-founder of Velcro Corporate and Lifestyle Solutions that offers management consultancy and entrepreneurship entrepreneurship mentorships. She's also a co-founder of Wisteria Learning Profession, which offers professional mentorships to both working professionals and small and medium business proprietors and corporate entities. She's also a gender activist, so she wears a lot of caps. So she's also a gender activist. She's served as a mentor for the Women in Tech Global program that supports women in STEM under the Leadership and Management Mentorship Program. She has also been involved in works in the gender and social inclusion within the energy space. So her qualifications are a master's degree in adult education, bachelor's degree in adult education from the University of Zambia, and a postgraduate diploma in monitoring and evaluation from Cavendish University in Zambia. Postgraduate diploma in human resource, and is currently pursuing a Doctor of Philosophy in adult education. She has personal affiliations with as a fellow of Chartered Institute of Customer Management, CICM, Certified Customer Service Practitioner by the Customer Service Institute of America, and the fellow of Zambia Institute of Human Resource Management, and full member Institute of Directors of Zambia. So she's done quite a lot, so we're in good hands. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Tionge to be our speaker today. Tionge, sorry. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Phoebe. Thank you so much. I was almost wondering if that is me, actually, as you read through. And I hope you can hear me. Please, if I do break, do let me know. I have 2 gadgets at least to use, just in case I have a challenge. So thank you so much. And good afternoon for those of you who are in the early mornings. Good morning. Those of you that are going towards the evening, good evening to you too. And thank you so much. Success has posted in the chat box. I want to just hear who is on the call. Please do type your name, yes, your country of residence right now. And please do state if you're still a student, you're studying, if you're in second year, third year, please do state which year you're in. If you're an alumni, please do also just state for me in the chat box quickly as we are about to start. So we are about to start. Okay, I can see a bit as a joke, a bit, a rock from Sudan. Thank you so much. The others, please, can you just help me to type in the chat box? Hilda, thank you. Thank you so much. Please do type in the chat box. And even as you type in the chat box, I want you to just type 2 expectations. What are your expectations as we are coming into this session? At some point, I'll turn off my video so that it can also help me with my bandwidth for the presentation. So please, thank you, Hilda. Is there anyone that is brave enough to say good morning, good afternoon, and just tell us their name, where they are typing from, and if they can just tell us their 2 expectations? The next 5 minutes I'll allow. Is there anyone? Do we have any volunteer? Anyone brave enough? I can see Catherine. I can see Jennifer. I can see Michael. Anyone brave enough to just unmute? I can see Gloria's mic is unmuted. Anyone else? Anyone that is able to unmute? This is a safe space, ladies, gentlemen that have joined in. Anyone that is able to unmute?
Hello.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. This is Ajo. I'm from South Sudan, and I'm studying in Bugema University, which is in Kampala. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajok. Thank you and welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Hilda, I've seen you unmuted, and
Yes,
Rejoice
hello
as well.
everyone. Hello everyone, my name is Hilda from Uganda. I'm super excited to be on the platform.
Hello
Thank you so
everyone.
much, Hilda.
Hello everyone. My name is Rejoice from South Sudan. I'm a student scholar. I'm so happy to be part of this program for the first of its kind. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And welcome everybody. So those of us that have joined in a bit later than when we started, please share also your expectations in the chat box. So I hope we are all ready. If you are in a busy space as women, I know most of us that are women, we are probably multitasking right now. Please don't get scared if you hear any of my 5 kids in the background. Though I know they are doing their homework, some of them. So in case you hear any noises, you know what it is when you are having class at home. And thank you so much. I've seen Gloria also is in the house. And you're welcome, ladies. Please, I want you to be very free. Even as the presentation goes on, please do feel free to type in the chat box. Phoebe, how many minutes do I have even as I start so that I know my cue?
You have up to, we can go up to 15:50, so that we can have maybe 10 minutes.
15:50.
Yes.
For questions and answer. Okay. Okay, let me just time. All right, thank you so much. So we have a very interesting topic, but before I start, I think allow me to just say thank you so much for this opportunity, to the leadership and to the team for according me the opportunity to be here, according me the opportunity to share with you and to just be able to be with the team this afternoon. I do not take it for granted. I really want to say thank you, and I'm really, really honored to the WMI team for giving me this opportunity. I will share my story, how I found myself here, and to show you the practical side of the topic that we are actually looking at. So even as I share, please do look out for those lessons. Like Phoebe said, my name is Tiwonge Mbale-Ziambo, and it's such a joy to be here to share with fellow women. I know that the majority of our participants are women, and as women, when we delve into pouring into each other, it gives us a bigger gives us a bigger portfolio and platform to be able to do so. So please feel free. If you have the questions, please just type in the chat box and then we'll be able to attend to them. So my task is simple. We are going to look at an introduction. We'll look at self-worth. I always say the beginning point of anything is being able to realize who you are and as an individual. So even as we start, I want you to just type in the chat box that I'm proud to be here. The fact that you have managed to log in from the so many invitations that were sent already shows you that you are destined to be here and to pick something from here. So I want you to just type in the chat box to just row up for yourself. I always say you are your #1 cheerleader. So I want you to be proud of yourself and give yourself a pat on the back and say, I am proud to be here. You know, you are proud to be here. It's not a mistake that you are here. There's a reason why you have logged in, why you have spared that time. If you're driving, it might be difficult. If you're home and you're cooking, please just spare some time to just type to let me know that you are here, you're on the call. I can see Esther, I can see Gloria. And so all of us that are here, please just type and route up for yourself that you are proud to be here and you're glad to be in this meeting. So we will look at fundamental aspects of entrepreneurship. We'll look at strategic networking, why strategic networking matters, what are the key principles of strategic networking, building networking skills, networking anchors, the good rule of the thumb, leveraging on learning, continuous improvement, action plan, and then we'll be able to conclude. So you do realize that I'm coming from 3 blended background. I am an academician, I am a customer service expert and communications, and I am also a person that is coming from a human resource or human capital background. So most of the things and the conversations we are going to have will actually hinge on the different aspects. It's just not about the entrepreneurship. It's going to be a lot on personal growth as well and how you are aligning yourself as we look at developing this strategic network and how we go about to interact with one another. So first things first. And this is why I was emphasizing that even as we look at ourselves. So I think, like Febi said, she did give an introduction, but I'm coming from an organization that we founded in 2019, known as Wisteria Learning. So just like most of you that are also either have established your own personal businesses, this is a business that we developed to try and assist professionals. So professionals, entrepreneurs, and organizations. We noticed that a lot of people are hinged on helping organizations, and they forget the entrepreneur and they forget the profession. So our task is really simple: is to lead learning and capacity development institutions to creating actualized professionals. For you as a professional, for you as an entrepreneur and a person that is managing their own business, how do you get to be productive and make an impact in a community or society where you're thriving? And basically what we do is that right now is that we provide platforms for people to learn. So this platform, and I'm very, very honored to be on the WMI platform to just share with you some of the pickup points that I've had in my 15 years plus career, and even as we share together. So first things first, we start with you. And I want you to type in the chat box that I am me, I am different. You need to first recognize yourself as an individual before everything else. I was telling someone this morning, I went for a marathon run in the morning, and I went with my kids. And I just realized, we kept taking photos with the children until one of my friends says, now it's no longer time for the kids, also for the mummies. And I said, yeah, sometimes we forget about ourselves. So I want you to acknowledge yourself first and say, you are you, I am me, I am different. The very fact that on a side, that is your name, that was given to you, that is you. The very fact that Miriam, you're different from Rejoice, that is you. And we need to be cognizant of who we are, because when we forget who we are, we end up doing what everybody else is doing. We end up getting ideas of people who have their own ideas. So as you reflect on your reality, remember that you first need to be authentic to you. And I want you to be real to you. You need to be very honest with yourself. The easiest thing to be in this world is you. The most difficult thing to be is what other people want you to be, because you try to be that one thing that you are not. And this is why even as we look at our careers, even as we look at the topic of entrepreneurship, I always tell people, to attain a level of success is not hinged to money. Yes, money gives us certain things and access, but remember, you can have all the money, but if you've lost yourself, then there is nothing for you. So you need to always first think of you. Who is the authentic you, Melissa? You are you and you are different. So we all need to acknowledge that the first and the most important person in the room where you are right now is you. So don't let people put you in a position that oscillates you to being like them. So I want all of us, if there's someone who hasn't affirmed themselves, I'm calling on you to affirm yourself that you are you and you are different. Just type, I am me, I am different. Because the moment you realize that you are different, Ajok, you will be able to speak your mind. You will be able to share your thoughts. You will be able to be yourself in a room where there are dignitaries. Even as we step into the topic of looking at building strong strategic networks, you will be able to be yourself. You will be able to flourish as a person. So always remember that you are you and you are different. None of us here, if you look at your palms, I want you to look at the palms of your hands and look at them carefully. You will realize that if you looked at anyone else's palms, they're different from yours. And why is that? Because you are unique in your own way. And I always emphasize on that one, because sometimes as women, we do forget that aspect. two aspects as we go into this training. Number one, even as you are being trained this afternoon, you must be given to the training. You must tell yourself, this time I have spared it to be here. I have told myself, if you have your book and pen and paper, I have my book and my pen in my hand, and I keep taking notes even as you be asking questions. Why? Because even I am here to learn from you. So even as we are here, we must be given to the training. And then, of course, the great Warren Buffett says, never invest in a business you cannot understand. In the same way, never pick a career that you cannot love, that you cannot understand, because it becomes a stumbling block to get to a passage to where you want to be in your life. So even as we are here, I want us to keep this food for thoughts in our minds as we listening. Please, if you are typing, if you are with me, I want you to type I'm following, and just type I'm following in the chat box. Can I hear from you and hear some feedback as we proceed? Okay. Can I get some feedback in the chat box? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm following. I can see. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Hilda. So, ladies, please, thank you so much. And I'm glad that you can hear me clearly. So, first things first. So, women today wear many hats. We are leaders in one space. We are mothers. We are entrepreneurs. We are professionals. We are caregivers. Some of us right now are students. I'm also a student. And we have so many things going around us with so many roles and responsibilities. Setting clear goals and staying committed to them can be sometimes very overwhelming. And it can be very, very overwhelming. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to manage this? The great Miles Monroe said something. Miles Monroe says, success is not a gift, but a result. Because when you want, for those of you that are still in school, and for those of you that have just logged in, we did say, please type your name, with your country of stay or residence, and please indicate if you're an alumni or you're still a graduate student or a postgraduate student. So you realize that as you go through the different phases, right now, of course, we do have the graduate scholars on the floor, and we do have those that are working on some of you are doing your businesses full time. So for all of you, one thing is common. You need a clear purpose. You need a sense of destiny. You need a vision that motivates you to attain your goal. Your purpose is what is your sole existence? Why are you doing the business that you're doing? Why are you doing the course that you're doing? The course that you studied, for some of you can be in the medical field, some of you can be in the accountancy field, some of you did business administration, some of you are managing different businesses that look at clients. Phoebe did say, all of us have one thing in common. We have customers in one way or the other. As you are attending to those customers, what is it that you're doing to make sure that you are getting to attain to their needs? What is it that you're doing that when you identify their needs and you fill in that gap, you know that, kitchen, I have actually managed it. I have actually ensured that I have attained that goal. So success in itself reminds us that if we want to get to a place of achievement, we need discipline to remain on that path. And this will call for tough decisions. And I want you to just type in the chat box, success is not a gift. Success is not a gift, because once you know that, you will not say, that one got lucky. I think that one just got lucky. There should be something. No, there had to be a certain effort. So I want you to just type in the chat box, success is not a gift, because success requires you to make an effort and to put in something to get to where you want to be. So all of us here, we all want success. We all want to be successful. You want to be successful in your school. You want to be successful in your business. You want to be successful in the work that you're doing. Even as you build teams, even as you employ people, we all want to be successful. But for us to attain that success, we need to make very, very difficult decisions. And today we will be looking at what are some of these decisions that we need to make to get to where you are. So number one, self-worth. Remember, I talked about being you and being different. So self-worth is the first and the beginning point of your journey to success, of ensuring that you successfully build networks, that you successfully interact, and that of course you attain what you want to attain in your business or even in your career. So self-worth is recognizing I am greater than all of those things. You are greater than the money itself. You are greater than the adornment. Today we all have, we would have done our hairs up. We would have, you wear jewelry. We have different kinds of jewelry. And all these things make us a little nicer than the usual. But the most important thing is knowing that you are of the greatest value. And I want you to just type, I am valuable. You are of greatest value. You are valuable. The necessity that you bring into this existence is necessary for your life because you are valuable. You have an incomparable wealth. Right now, all of us that are on this chat, we are all different. Lenetti is different from me, Ajok is different, Catherine is different, Esther is different because we all will not speak the same. We are different. So we need to understand first that your self-worth is that you're a valuable individual. Number two, your sense of worth helps you to trust your own judgment. As you go up and as you expand your career, I'll tell you one thing. There's some places where you get to be and in spaces, especially when you get to meet with the elite. Sometimes your mind can actually play games on you and tell you, do you really deserve to be here? Do you really deserve to have a seat at the table? And I want to remind you that yes, indeed, you deserve that seat at the table. You are worth everything that it is that it takes for you to sit on the table. You are worth everything for you to do that business that everyone has said, this is a male-dominated business. No, this business, females don't do it because they don't have the tenacity. You have the tenacity to do it. But you need to remember first, who am I? And your self-confidence, what your self-worth does is that it helps to extrapolate your confidence. It helps you to manage yourself. Even when you stand and people say, can you give us a pitch for what you're doing? You will be able to speak through. When you get the results, you get the results and you were doing an audit, for instance, and you know what you have found, you will be confident to speak through those results and say, you know what, this is what I found. Thank you so much. And with people, in your communication skills, one of the things that you have to learn in your communication skills is how you build up rapport. And I think when we get to some of the things we'll discuss later on, is how you start a conversation. How you start a conversation matters. For me, when I meet you and the way that you just greet me tells me how much self-worth you have put on yourself. The moment someone greets you from today onwards, you should, of course, our African culture is very different. Of course, we are raised to not, of course, have very strict eye contact because we are women. Sometimes we are raised and taught in the manner in which we dress. We need to be, of course, very alert to the social cultural context of operation. So you need to study all those things. Your beginning and successfulness of your communication skills is always be cognizant. Where are you operating from? So if you're running a business and you are expected to be dressed in a hijab, you don't have to go dressed in a certain way. You know that you need to cover yourself because people need to listen. People will not listen to you if you're not dressed in a certain way. So even the manner in which you will speak with respect and with the confidence, they will say, this is a well-natured woman. This is a well-natured and worthy woman of herself. This is a very confident. Have you met those people that you say, oh my goodness, this person is very confident of themselves? Because confidence only comes when you have understood your environment and have understood your worth. Ladies, gentlemen that are here, do you understand your worth even before you chant out and chatter out into different spheres of your career, of your business? Have you understood yourself? When you understand your self-worth, you appreciate where you're coming from. You will not be ashamed to say, I grew up in an environment where I did not have 3 meals a day. I grew up in an environment where I needed to walk 3 kilometers to school. You will tell your story as it is without looking for sympathy. Why? Because you understand your worth. You understand your worth that you have. So it helps you also overcome imposter syndrome and thinking that you don't deserve to be in that space. I want you to type in the chat box, I deserve to be in my space. I deserve to be in this space. You deserve to be where you are. I have friends who have gotten PhDs, and you will see that there are things that haunt them because they didn't deal with certain issues of imposter syndrome. And they'll be calling me and saying, Tonge, I have a presentation. I don't know how to go about it. Where do I start from? There's this minister, there's this. And I tell them, look, you know your value. So even for those of us that are here, you need to understand your self-worth. And just type in the chat box, I am worthy. I deserve to be in my space. You deserve to be in your space right now. No one should ever make you feel to apologize for where you are and what you have built in your career, because you have worked hard and you deserve to be in that space. So don't let anyone second guess you. And you see, this is the problem. Sometimes it's because you don't have the tagline of a director. You don't have a tagline of a manager, but you are your own CEO. So you need to understand that you deserve to be where you are and show up well. When people give you an opportunity, show up. Don't say no. Just say, please, I need to do this for me. You're not doing this, Esther, for anybody else. You're not doing that, Lenti, for anyone else. You are doing it for you. And that's what I thought. Let me give you a punch up for you understanding your self-worth. Okay, so what are some of the foundational aspects? So number one, we'll start with entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship refers to a process of creating a new enterprise, bearing any of its risk with a view of making a profit. So for those of us that are doing business, and of course, most of us in here are doing business in one way or the other, we need to understand that sometimes we need to take certain risks. We need to take certain steps to get to where we are. And what value are you creating? I always say, if you have a business idea, you can have 3, 4, 5 shops that are in your same line, and you're all selling clothes. What is different about your clothes? Who is it targeting? Who is your target market? Who is going to benefit from those things? So every time that you think of your business ideas, I want you to think of what new enterprise are you introducing that everybody else has overlooked? And the person who creates a new enterprises and embraces every challenge for its development and operation is known as an entrepreneur. And I'll ask you, are you a valuable entrepreneur? Are you an entrepreneur with a difference? And if you believe that you are one with a difference, just type, I am one with a difference, because you bring something to the table. And I'll tell you one thing, that even at the end of this presentation, I want you to go and if you haven't casted a vision and mission for your business, I want to challenge you. At the end of today, Fabi, I wish there can be a feedback loop where people a feedback loop that you can get. Does everyone have a mission and a vision statement for their business? What are you doing now to help your customers? And that is your mission. What is it that you're doing now to help? Where do you want to be in the next 2, 3 years? Because if we say 5 years, it will look very far. In the next 6 months, we're already in the second quarter of the year. What is your vision right now as you look at December with what you're doing? For those of us that are in our alumni, we're already working and we're balancing between our businesses and work. What difference do you want to make to your clients and your customers? Those are tough questions that I will ask you to go and answer, even as we have reflections over this topic. What are some of the things that we need to harness? What is your passion? What drives you? What skills do you have? What is your experience? One of my colleagues who runs a young women's network, she always says something. She says, there is no experience that goes to waste. Some people will feel, my first degree, I have a medical degree, but I'm not practicing as a medical doctor. I'm working in a totally different field. I'm working in public health. Some of us here might have a background in accountancy, and you're working in customer service. And for a while, you might feel, am I in the right space? Yes, you are. How can you leverage on your experience to get to where you want to be? What is the added advantage that makes you a suitable provider of a service, unlike another person? So, what is it that makes you different, Rejoice, from what you have? So you need to always look at your experience counts. What resources do you have available? Some of us will receive funding for the projects that we have, and some of us already have available funding. How are we using our funding? And of course, the heartbeat of this conversation, how are we building strong networks? And at the end of the day, we need to strategize to come up with ways and means to get us into taking advantages of the opportunities that come right our way. So quickly we'll dive into, I'm looking at the time, what are some of the four key elements? If you are with me and you're following, please just type 1111 in the chat box. I want to see if you are here. Please do type. I'll ask you, I'll just pause for a minute. Please just unmute quickly. All of us, we can say at once and just say, I am here. Let us just unmute and say, I am here, I am here, I am here.
I am here.
Here.
I'm here. I am here.
Great. Thank you. At least then I'm sure that I'm not talking to myself. So the four key elements are very critical. These four key elements prepare you even as you strive and desire to move towards an aspect of building networks, even as you desire to move as an individual, even as you desire to grow your business, and also as you align your career. Number one, yesterday is gone. Please tell yourself, yesterday has gone. We will not regain yesterday. Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today. What are we doing today? What things are we aligning today to get to where you want to be? So I want you to type in the chat box, I only have today. I have today. You have your today. You have the breath of life. You have the good health. What are you doing to get to where you want to be? Number two, discipline beats motivation. Trust you me, you'll be fired up after this conversation. You'll be thinking, you have all sorts of thoughts and thinking, oh my goodness. And quickly, as you have those thoughts, please get your pen and paper or get your book and write down your thoughts. Begin to write down your thoughts, because tomorrow when you don't feel all hyped up, it's the discipline that will get you to where you want to be. If you are doing something today, do it with passion. If you find that you are struggling to love what you do, don't do it. Change and look for yourself. Go back to the topic of self-worth. Go back to the topic of who am I? Go back to saying, what is my purpose? You need to tie your purpose with what you're doing, and you never work in a day. If you get into a business that is you are passionate about, trust you me, you will do it with your eyes closed. You will speak, you will offer that service. If you're running a salon, if you're selling clothes, you will be there to inspire and encourage your customers. If you're running a food business, you will cook with passion, and it will show. So if you're doing something and you find that there's something wrong, revisit your books and go back. At the end of the day, I want you to tell yourself this: mistakes are proof that you are trying. As women, we beat ourselves so hard. Ladies, we beat ourselves. Even men that might be here, we beat ourselves so hard, Hilda. Rejoice, we are not kind to ourselves. And I want you to just type in the chat box, I need to be kind to myself. Have you been kind to yourself? Yes, there are things that you had set out to do from January up to now, and you haven't done them. And it's okay, because you don't have everything in control. But you can do something. Remember, you have today to realign yourself. So be kind to yourself. And I want you to be kind to yourself. Because sometimes when we don't get things the way we want them, we beat ourselves so hard. Success. We tell ourselves, why didn't I meet my KPIs? Why haven't I hit the amount that I had set out, Melissa? So I need you to be kind to yourself, because when you are kind to yourself, you give yourself an opportunity to grow. When you are kind to yourself, you give yourself an opportunity to go and reflect and say, what can I do better? What can I change about my situation? How can I realign myself? you might have not gotten the best results in a course. And that doesn't mean you're a failure. It means that you need to go back and look at it and say, okay, how am I managing my business as I'm doing my studies? So you need to be very kind to yourself to say, mistakes will happen. Things might go wrong. It's not your fault. Can we go back and pick the pieces? Can we pick the pieces and realign? Can we commit to that as ladies? So after we have done that in our foundation, how now do we strategically network and position ourselves? How do we align ourselves with being in the space where we can take and leverage on that space? Number one, what is strategic networking? Hilda, strategic networking is the intentional process of building relationship that supports your goals and your values. Strategic, one, you are making the move. Networking, you are leveraging on others. So there are two critical components that come out from here. So there's the intentionality from you, and then there's you going to build the relationship, and also for you to benefit from that relationship to get you to where you want to be. If you do not want to grow, then strategic networking is not for you. You need to understand the landscape of networking. Networking says you take in something, you benefit, but even the other person benefits from you. So it's not one-sided. So building strategic relationship means what? Cultivating authentic relationships in industry, professional level. You are a professional. You are doing your business. You are growing in your career. You go in knowing that, okay, how can I build authentic business relationships? Today, if you run out of resources, for instance, if you are in a business that makes outfits and you run out of materials, who within your networks can you call that can supply you, even if you don't have the money and the funds? What kind of network have you established today, Gloria, that you're just a phone call away? So you need to make sure that the relationships should be authentic. And how do you do that? We will unpack that as we look at the different other aspects. So this relationship is about understanding perspectives. So we might not share the same religious beliefs. We might not share the same philosophies. We might not share the same interests, but we have a common understanding, and that is the business that we are doing. So we need to build the trust. We need to show that we have an open door for collaboration. Even as we attend to one another, how are we building trust? So I want you to type something in the chat box that you will not forget. That SN, which is strategic networking, for SN, I need to be intentional. You know, to be a strategic networker, I need to be intentional. You need to be intentional, Esther. You need to be intentional, Miriam. You need to be intentional, Ajok. You need to be intentional, Jennifer. You need to have the intentionality. You need to tell yourself, I'm going to go to that event because I know this will boost my business. I know this will boost my career. So for you to build a strong strategic network, you need to be intentional. You need to have what is your intentionality at that particular point, you know? So you need to make up your mind to want to do it. If you do not want to do it, and then of course, if you're an introvert, you say, I'm an introvert, Fabi. I can't talk in public. I can't speak. Trust you me, in strategic networking, you take off the jacket of your introversy. You take off your jacket of shyness. You need to take off that jacket and put on the jacket of confidence. You need to put on your jacket of intentionality. Why are you doing that? Because you know that you want to cultivate authentic relationships in your industry. What else can we do? As we'll be almost wrapping up. One, why does strategic networking matter? Number one, it opens doors for new opportunities. Remember what we talked about? That if you are looking for something that you don't have and you need it urgently to provide for a customer or a client, you will be able to just call someone who is within your networks. Number two, it expands your knowledge and perspectives. So there's always the way that you have been doing things. You know, there's always the way in thing, no, I sell things like this. But when you begin to interact with people in the same industry, then you say, oh my goodness, right now there's AI. How many AI platforms are we utilizing to ensure that our businesses are growing? How are you using the different platforms for you as a student to ensure that you are aligned with your work or with your profession? So when you interact with people, you will learn about the different perspectives of how they do things. And also it builds credibility and influence. So for instance, I will post my LinkedIn channel in the chat box and I tell you, please follow my post and please look out for the postings that I do because I do different postings. As you are reading those, you'll be thinking, oh my goodness, so I didn't know this. Oh my goodness. Why? You are building influence. You are also building credibility. The more people see you when you are visible, the more they want to deal with you. And then, of course, it strengthens community impact. Some of us are a little bit humble. We say, okay, no, I'm doing so much in my community, but I don't want people to see it. It's okay. But there needs to be a position where people begin to feel that impact and they begin to see that impact. And we need to have conversations about it. Remember, our sole purpose is not that people should come and praise us and people should worship us. No, it's to make real impact that even a community, that wellness that you were looking at in a community, you bring life to that community. So what are the key principles that can help us, even as we desire to go into strategic networking? Number one is that have clarity of your goals and why you need to connect. Remember, I said intentionality. This is where intentionality comes in. Value exchange. What are you putting on the table? It's just not, networking is not about you benefiting. What are you also giving back to your networks? How are they benefiting from you? Number three, consistency. If, for instance, today I've known that, oh, Esther is like me and we're into capacity building, we'll begin to interact. We need to be consistently in touch. We need to engage so that even when Esther has a program and she says, oh, Tonge, can you please come and assist me? I have a training session and I have a mentorship session on customer service. I'll tell you, okay, Esther, I will help you at no charge. Why? Because we've been in touch and Esther knows what I've been doing. Number four, be authentic. Build trust. Our number one failure within our African context, we don't know how to say no. If you're not able to give a client or a customer something, we need to learn to say no. Unfortunately, I'm not able to. Can we ask maybe another person to partner? You know, I had someone reach out to me and they needed training. And I knew that training, there's only one component that I was very familiar with. I reached out to my mentor and I told him, I said, Doc, this part I can do very well, but this part I need you to help me. So we need to build trust. Even as we have these interactions, let us make sure that when we can't do something, we say that we cannot do something, because people will just say, no, I don't want to deal with Tiwange because she failed to deliver. It's because I was not honest. And a joke would just say, I don't want to call her because she didn't deliver. So we need to make sure that we are authentic. We need to make sure that by the time Rejoice is calling Esther, she is confident that Esther will deliver. And then stay anchored in integrity. Don't compromise to fit the shoe. Don't compromise your values to fit in. If you don't subscribe to certain parameters in which the people that you're networking with are doing things, be able to state that I'm not able to do this, because integrity builds a more powerful reputation than politics will ever do, than anything else. So guard your integrity. And I want you to just type in the chat box, I need to guard my integrity. You need to safeguard your integrity. Whatever happens, there was a job that I was supposed to do. It was going to pay me, I think, about, it was going to pay me in my Zambian kwacha. I don't know, Fabi, if you're able to convert, it was going to pay me 200,000. If you can convert that to dollars, for our team, and it was a good amount. It was just going to take me 5 days and I was going to get paid. Fabi, have you tried to convert 200,000 kwacha to dollars?
Yes, I'm about to type it.
Okay. Yeah. So she would type. So you know, and I was just going to do that work for a couple of days, less than, I think, about 3 days of that. And then I was going to get that money. But when I had the conversation with the network, someone that introduced me to it, I found there were things that were just hanging. That's $8,613 dollars. You can imagine. That's $8,613. That was just for a 3 days training. But trust you me, when I had the conversation about how to go about the process, I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't, the money was good. It was going to help sort out a lot of things for the business, but I said, this is not it. I had to back out, you know, and I went away with my name. I said, I'm not going to dent my name and my image because of this deal. So even when it comes to such big monies, the money will come. You need to be patient with yourself. So you need to make sure that you stand on your word. And then number 6, communicate with tact. Even as you are doing some of these networking events you're attending, be very wise and choose your words carefully. Sometimes people are a bit uncomfortable with how we present ourselves. You might have a very good idea. You might have a very good point, strengthening point, but be very tactful with how you put out information out there. Be very tactful in how you manage difficult conversations. The most difficult things we can ever do as women, especially I have certain rooms where I'm the only female and I have 16 men and I'm leading and I'm chairing such a meeting. You need to be very tactful even as you are having such meetings or such conversations to break that deal. You need to be you need to forget to say, don't wear the jacket of saying, no, they'll listen to me because I'm a woman. No, they'll listen to you because you're a professional in your field, because you have what it takes to be in that table. Remember what we said? That always never forget. Let no one remind you and say, no, imposter syndrome, maybe you don't deserve to be here. We deserve a seat at the table. So let us be very tactful in how we are managing that space at the table. Number 7, focus on performance. Focus on performance, speak excellently, deliver consistently. When you are lagging behind with what you're doing, tell your networks, team, I'm having a challenge here. Is there someone that can step in? And then, of course, for us as women, avoid gossip and toxic cliques. Networks are broken when people say, oh my God, did you see what happened to her? Did you see what happened to him? You know, stay professional. Learn from the mistakes of others. Remember, we said, even ourselves, we're not perfect. So do not participate in backbiting to undermine others that have gone ahead of us. What can we learn so that we align ourselves well? Feby, I have overshot on my time. Is it okay if I ask for an extra 10 minutes or 5? Success?
I think we can go on.
Okay, thank you so much. Please. Okay, thank you so much. Team, if we are still here, can I just hear you to say avoid toxic cliques, avoid toxic cliques? Can I hear you so that I know that we are following, and if it's making sense, please do share those emojis.
Avoid toxic cliques.
Yes. Thank you.
Avoid toxicity.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we should be wrapping up soon. So how then do we build these networking skills? 1, improve your communication and listening skills. It's a hot topic, but briefly I'll say something. So communication is an art and a process of creating common understanding between 2 or more parties. So even when you go into a networking event, let's say you have come as different professionals or different entrepreneurs that are within the same space of operation. You need to listen. You need to have the ability to listen to what the next person is saying. What do they do? And affirm them. When you listen, to say, okay, Jennifer, so what do you do? So Jennifer told me, oh, I'm into hotel industry, and I provide support for people in the hotel industry. I said, okay, what support do you provide? So I should let Jennifer to be able to express herself and not say, oh, Jennifer, I think I can help you. I do I have not listened to her. I have not heard what Jennifer really does. Because by the time Jennifer is speaking, I'm formulating how does Jennifer benefit from me as much as I want to benefit from her. And sometimes people back out from networking events because they're thinking people just want to benefit from me. So you need to show people how they can benefit from you, Hilda. How are people going to benefit from you, Melissa? On a side, how are people, through having the conversation with you within the field of operation, how can they also benefit from you? So you need to understand how are people also benefiting from you. Then develop a personal brand that reflects your values. When you begin to brand yourself, for those of you that have not branded yourself, I will encourage you, you can go on YouTube and watch branding videos. Look out for how you can brand yourself and how you can make yourself visible. But as you listen to this conversation, my challenge to you is, what brand are you carrying? What name of your business what are people seeing about your product? What are people seeing about you? Do you have the professional outlook? Do you have the playful outlook? There are certain businesses that will need you to be playful. If you deal with children, with kids, of course, your colors, your colors will reflect. So all those things, when people meet you, are they able to relate to your brand? And then number 3, engage in professional and community groups. So some of us are in the habit of being in professional groups, and yet we are just quiet. We don't post in our networking groups. I was telling someone, I'm in an entrepreneurship. I'm like, I think 3 or 4 entrepreneurship groups, and we all sell different products, because I sell products as well. I do farming. I sell farming products. I do cosmetic products. So there's a tendency I've noticed for people to just post things haphazardly. Like every time they have these photos that all the time they post, and they become boring. How are you bringing out your business out there? How are you presenting your business for people to follow you? How are you ensuring that you have engagements? When people ask questions of the group, sometimes you might even find that you know the answers. You know the answers. Fineola, you know the answers, but you are just thinking, oh my God, Michael, you're there thinking, what will I say? What will they think? Take a step and take a leverage, because then people will get into your inbox and say, can we meet up and have a conversation on this? Can we, and this is where the follow-ups come in. So you'll be able to follow up and say, oh, thank you so much for answering my question. What business are you in? You'll be able to build follow-ups because of the conversation you are having. What are our networking anchors? So there are 2 things that are networking anchors. One, there's a practical networking tips. So one, you need to attend relevant, and I put relevant here because it's not all events that you should attend within your sphere of profession or your sphere of your business. Every time there's something, you are there. No, you need to choose which ones, and always remember intentionality. Always go with the intentionality in mind. Why are you going there? What do you want to get from that event? So be it personal or virtue, what are you getting from there? Number 2, use LinkedIn strategically. Today, I'm here and speaking to all of you ladies from different countries in Africa because of LinkedIn, because someone reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm very grateful. I have this platform here and be able to share what I know within my field of profession because someone saw something about me. So what are you posting? If you're not on LinkedIn, please do get on LinkedIn and we can have a conversation and guide you through on how you can get it going. Begin to post about your work. Begin to talk about what you're doing. So go and look at a few people that you've seen are doing well on LinkedIn and try to follow through and say, how are they posting? How are they coming up? And sometimes just inbox to say, I need help. How do you manage your LinkedIn pages? Prepare your elevator speech. Today, for instance, if I asked any of you to say, can someone give me an elevator speech? I have $1,000 that is waiting for someone to have a funding. Are we prepared and ready to get that $1,000? Are we prepared, ladies? Are we prepared to ensure that we make our mark with what we're doing? Then, of course, leverage on mentors and peers for introductions. If you have industry experts within your profession, within your field expertise, and even within your career, begin to network, begin to have conversations with them and say, can you engage me? Some of the people that I have mentored, it's because they just came and said, Tuange, I want to tag along with you when you're going for your conversation. If I'm speaking at the conference, they'll come along and I'll give them a space. I said, okay, I'll give you 3 minutes to say something. So sometimes just doing that helps you look out for the next woman. And this is why I'm saying, why are we networking as women leaders? We need to support and uplift one another. We need to break the barriers through collaborations. We need to be visible in male-dominated spaces. We are not competing against the male folk. No, neither are we pushing the agenda of other things. We are here to say, look, we can thrive where we are and we can thrive with what we have. So share resources and opportunities generously amongst ourselves. And this is why we're here today. You know, we are here because WMI has said, look, we need to sit together and we need to learn from one another. So what's the good rule of the thumb as I go towards my finishing off from my 10 minutes? One, every 6 months, as you are thinking of networking, refresh your soft skills. Be very deliberate and intentional. Go to YouTube, look for the free courses. There are free courses on Coursera. If some of you have ended on Coursera, there are free sessions. The sessions that you have, we have sometimes the classes here on this platform. Make sure you don't miss a session. 12 months. Update your technical or professional skills. You might have not professionally studied in the field of your passion. Go and look for which university or college is offering that skill set and raise that money and go and get a certification. Within 2 to 3 years of your business, pursue a major upskilling opportunity, which is a formal course, a degree, certification, leadership. Some of us just like, no, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's, I have a PhD. Beyond the PhD program, beyond the master's, what have you mastered in that will help you with your work and what you're doing? So leverage on your learning. And this is, you read through this slide, which is actually reflective of what I've just looked at. I'll mention the last thing as I close off, continuous improvement. There is no harm to learn from others. And I want us, even as I close, let's just put in the chat box, we need to learn from each other, or just say learning from each other, learning from each other. Let's just type in the chat box. Please type in the chat box, I need to learn from the other person. You know, I need to learn from another person. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are people that have done these businesses, there are people that have done these courses. We need to have the humility to go and just knock on the door and say, you know what, I'm struggling, I need help. Because they will give us insight, they'll give us caution, they will encourage us, they will help us to get where we want to be and attain that success. Know when to speak out. When you notice things are not going right and are not going well within your sphere of influence, begin to share your concerns or document your concerns. Now, this is the HRI in me speaking. When you're running your own business and you've seen that there are some loopholes, begin to document those things and say, you know what, address those things, because when things are unsaid, things get bad, or things, you either lose resources, you lose your money, you lose your employees because you kept piling things. So 2 things which I learned from the Japanese philosophers who look at the Kaizen philosophy. The Kaizen philosophy, it tells us you should always be a person that is looking forward to learning so that you remove your biases. This is my homework to all of you. You can screenshot this. I know Fabi will be able to share the presentation, but this is our action plan. I don't want us to leave this place and say, oh, it was such a beautiful conversation. Oh, there are so many things we've discussed. Number 1, my homework to all of you, set networking goals for the next 6 months. We're already in the 2nd quarter of the year. What does your networking look like? Which events will you attend? Identify the events. You know, there are those events that you end up saying, how come I'm not aware? I didn't know. Go and find out now. And then list 5 key people to connect with. There's always that person within your sphere that is a bit distant from you. Can you get a bit closer? Go and offer them. What can you do? What can you take to them? And then number 3, commit to attending at least 2 networking events every quarter. So there are quarters that will come. There's July, August, September. Already that's 1 quarter. October, November, December. There are 2 quarters. In the next 2 quarters, you should make sure at least you attend a networking event. Schedule your monthly check-ins with your contacts. Don't just get people's numbers and keep them and pile them. Tap into them, get in touch with them, text them and check, how are you doing? How's the business going? Because this is what will help us to get to where we are and where we want to be. I'll end with this. Strategic networking is a skill that can be learned and mastered. None of us, I'll tell you that I'm not perfect as well. I'm still learning the ropes. But all of us with intentionality, remember, if there's anything you should not forget from this session, is that strategic networking will only happen if you yourself are intentional. Number 2, focus on building authentic, mutually beneficial relationships. I always say, if you feel there's something missing in this relationship, it's okay to pull back. It's okay to take a step backwards as you observe it from a distance, you know. And then number 3, your network is your net worth. Invest in it wisely. We all know this saying, very common saying. And I'm just here to remind you that your network is your net worth. The power to succeed rests in your hands. Spend time on things that impact you positively. You need to study either your business, your career, your profession. You need to align yourself to ensure that you build that strong networking link. And I'll close off with this. And I want all of us here to type this in the chat box. Do not be afraid to start all over again. Trust the process. Some of us can be beating ourselves right now. I should have, coulda, woulda. Should have, coulda, woulda is gone. Ladies, gentlemen, that is gone. We are here now. Let us see what we can do to align ourselves. So even as I close off, I want you to just type that. I need to trust the process. I should not be afraid to start all over again. Trust the process, trust the process, and we will get there. Phoebe, thank you so much. And over to you, Roger.
Thank you so much, Tuwonge. From the chat, people have been lively. So I would like to give us just a few minutes to ask any question, any comment that you may have, maybe. And thank you so much for your indulgence in going over time. Maybe I'll just give us 5 minutes before we wind up for any questions that anyone might have. And then I'll invite Success to, I think she had an announcement. So please ask your question, any comment. I'll give an opportunity to 2 people to ask a question or to comment.
Okay, Phoebe, I don't think you saw my hand. You are seeing my hand. So
I can't, but go ahead,
okay.
please.
Okay, so let me just then give my comment. So initially I'd said I had a question. So as you were doing the presentation, thank you so much for such an insightful presentation. I actually got answered. The part about when you communicate or as you network, you need to create common ground or understanding. And also the key thing as well is to listen. So not to be quick to respond or to cut off someone, but to let them be able to speak their mind. And in them speaking their mind, it also helps you then pitch whatever that you want to pitch, and they will be a bit more open as well to listening and collaborating, given how you would have, started off the conversation with them. So thank you. So expectation met. Thank you.
Thank you so much
Welcome.
for
I'm
that.
glad to hear that. Thank you.
One more person. Any question, comment before I invite Success? Okay, there's a lot of thanks in the chat. Yes, so most people are just saying thank you. Jennifer is saying thank you so much, ma'am. And then Esther also is saying thank you so much for so very insightful. And then Mariam is also saying thank you so much for a very powerful, inspiring, insightful session. And then Rejoice also, thank you so much. It was a wonderful session, and I'll be in touch, I think, in case of such trainings. Please, can you send us the information regarding the meeting a day before? Because some of us are in areas with poor internet. Sorry about that, Rejoice. We started the publicity earlier in the week. I think we will ensure that we start even earlier than that next time. So thank you so much, Tiwonga, for a very insightful presentation. It was very valuable personally to me. I'm always up for learning more about strategic networking. So thank you so much for your time. And it was very extensive. It was very, it was in detail. We want to just extend our thank you to you for sparing your afternoon with us. So echoing everyone who said thank you, I would also love to thank you as well. Success. I don't know if you had anything to say, Tuanga, before Success comes on to close.
I think for me, it's just to encourage all of you that we need to sometimes we're a little bit hard on ourselves, especially when things are not going the way we've planned them, either in our networks, either in our career, either in our business. You just need to be a little bit more patient with yourself and not be afraid to speak out when you need help. Most of the things I've done is because I've had to tell either my mentors. I have two amazing mentors that still mentor me, and I reach out to them. And sometimes they tell me very hard truths. I get upset. But when I think through and I said, oh, actually, my mentor is right. So please do reach out, and then you'll be helped and you'll get to where you want to be. Thank you so much, Phoebe. I appreciate.
We appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. Success. Please do give the closing remarks.
Okay. Hi, Tiwonge. Thank you so much once again. I think the favorite slide, everything was really good, but I love the last slide, which is don't be afraid to start all over again and trust the process, because sometimes I do feel, like you mentioned, coulda, woulda, shoulda. So maybe I could have, done this better and all that. But the fact that we can start all over again and still build a very strong strategic network is really good to know. So thank you very much. Hi, ladies. So the announcement I have for today is that the October Seed Grant Circle is upcoming. And if you would be interested in applying, if you're a graduate scholar, you'll be graduating before then, you can apply for the seed grant. And you can write to our CDG manager, Bonnie Mark, so he would reach out to you directly and coach you for your application. So this is an opportunity available to everyone that is participating in this AWEP program. So feel free to utilize it. All right, that's it from my end, Phoebe. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Success, and thank you everyone also for staying on. I know we've gone way over our time, but I think it was from my perspective, I hope, and also seeing that we all stayed on, it was a good session. So until next time, thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Bye.
Thank you. It was a very wonderful session.
Thank you.
Thank you.